What's going on, Solid Steppers? What's up, Tech the Titans? This is Miss Ward right now coming from, I think I'm in a place called Madison. Getting back on I-10, headed over to High Springs to take care of some customers. Of course, I'm in Florida. I like to call Florida the entertainment capital of the universe because I'm telling you, you want to come and see some stuff you ain't never seen before? Come visit Florida. Just and look, don't even come. Don't schedule nothing. Don't schedule Disney. Don't schedule no events. Just observe. Just park and observe, honey. You will be entertained without the cable bill. Okay. But anyway, what is our topic today? I feel the need. I have so much to share. And, I really love it when you guys take these rides with me and take in the sights and enjoy the drama as I experience. It's one thing when it's self-inflicted and I take full responsibility for all the drama that I brought on myself in my life now. Don't get me wrong, because I know me. That's why I stay to myself to stay out of trouble. But what I want to talk about is one of my biggest things is always organization. I was coming from that rest stop, grab some gas and all that stuff, but I took a moment to just look over my files, look over my things I have to prioritize to get done today. And I was making sure some things were in order. And I had a particular situation where I had a client that I'm servicing that has had to wait for a part for 2 months. Now, early in my career, I'm all about turning over numbers, job completion in a short period of time. So that really threw my personal algorithm off. It really was frustrating because it's something that was outside of my control, and I never like dealing with anything that I can't control the outcome or have a 99% chance of predictability, because that's how I run my business. It's very instinctual, but it's been extremely profitable. But it's because I make what I like to call informed decisions. This particular client was an issue, and it had to do with rebuilding a control board. And I'm not knocking none of that stuff, because at the end of the day, we have some appliances that are old school, that are so much better built to weather the storms to come than a lot of the new stuff we have. I'm aware of that, and many other people are. But the trade-off is having to take those circuits and having them rebuilt, or either taking a class, and there's several out there. Shout out to the re-engineers. Love those guys. They're always giving out free information of how to rebuild boards. But my problem with sending it out to a certain facility, I'm not going to name the facility because, great reputation, but like everybody else, there are challenges when it comes to staff. And I can see at the level that they do business in that arena of rebuilding boards, if there's a change in staff or the quality of the supply of employees are not as focused, or there are any changes, when you're dealing with that type of meticulous work, because I consider control board, anything to do with control boards, PCs, any of those boards, to be a very delicate process where that you can't really guess on a relay. Like, you really need to be testing and have some things in place to make sure you don't have issues. And I had an issue that extended this out for 2 months because of a couple of things. One was that the manufacturer had images on websites that do not depict what the actual appliance looked like. For instance, the one that came off of the unit, and I'm referring to a Electrolux item, surprise. And no, it's not Electrolux. Let me take that back. It's actually a KitchenAid item, and the board is mounted on the right side frame panel in the lower corner. And this board, is the main board for the unit. Well, it has open relays, whereas the one on the image has closed relays. So I tried to order from my standard manufacturer, directly from the manufacturer, from my parts house, and I kept getting the wrong part. They did some research, and so then they labeled the part NLA. Now, the problem with this entire scenario is that that same information is what the refurbisher has. So in their framework, I'm ordering directly from them and still getting the same wrong board. So then I send the board in. But the whole thing that irritates me in this process is this is something I don't do just because of this level of headache. You cannot pay me enough to go through this level of headache on a consistent basis, because when I look at the time I use, the administrative responsibility, the back and forth with the supplier, and keeping the customer calm and cool, oh, you can't pay me enough. I got my own drama. So I consider that self-inflicted because I knew that this is something I don't like doing, and I knew that there would be issues. Now, am I knocking any of these guys? I mean, these guys are great. They've been doing it for years, and but I understand there are glitches, and because I'm really big about parts research, because I triage and troubleshoot prior, I knew that this was going to be great. So take a lesson from me. When you see something great, just don't do it. Don't do it. Do not confirm stuff you already know. Now, I'm making a really big profit off of this, but the problem with it is that I still have a board that might not have been refurbished properly, number one. I still have a board that I wasn't overseeing the refurbishing process, where you actually test the relays, and the triacs, the capacitors, the resistors, all that good stuff. I didn't do that, and I didn't oversee it. So I could plug this in, it could work for 24 hours, and then I could be in the back in the same place. I never like to be in positions or situations where I could have avoided this drama, because it ain't worth the paper. Because in that period of time of stress and ignorance, I consider it ignorance, because I feel anytime you wait months on a part, you need a new appliance. You just get a new one. Like, it ain't that. For me, I don't have no sentimental value. I'm not trying to match my kitchen, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people, that's how they eat. So the guys that's out there got the workbenches and you're repairing these boards on site, my hats go off to you. I did videos a while back about how important it is to gain that skill set, the same way I feel about seal systems. There are skill sets that will make you money when nothing else will. Seal system ability to do seal systems, R134, R600, and to be able to repair those boards on site. That is a game changer. But at the end of the day, I feel like whenever you do something, you need to be prepared. The guys that's replacing those boards, repairing those boards on sites, I've watched the videos. I've watched them pull out the hot knife, cut through the silicone and the surface, and cut out stuff and desolder it and vacuum it out and solder in the right relay with the right tolerances. That itself is an art form. So I always respect people that know what the hell they're doing. But I also respect the fact that this is not my area. So why are we talking about stuff that half the people listening don't know what the hell I'm saying? Because the moral of the story is stay in your lane, excel in your lane. If you're going to dip in the lane, be able to back your own self out. The lesson I have learned from this experience is either I need to learn how to rebuild them or I don't need to touch them. Because one thing that makes my business pop is one-stop completions. Show up with the parts, pre-diagnose, get it done, and keep it popping. On to the next. Because that right there goes in your till that day. I'm not one. The only thing that I do that the till comes in later is my contracting. My government contract, my corporate contracts, that type of thing. But I'm prepared for that because I built that out a certain way. And so let's talk about diversifying your business. A lot of y'all not diversified, and I'm gonna just leave that right there because I agree with All Things Real. Reverse market crash. I wholeheartedly agree with him and Patrick Bet-David. At the end of the day, people say they want something, but they never know the effects of what they really want until it hits them. And I feel the beautiful thing about what I do, I consider what I do a recession-proof business. Now, what do I mean by that? My business is not built the traditional way. So I'm not relying on Google leads. I'm not relying on anything that 99% of my co-partners do. Because I ain't got time for Google to be shutting my stuff down because they got to buckle down because some idiots think found a loop on Google and they finna run it up. And they run it up at the cost of other people. Now they going, Google's going around suspending stuff left and right because now they got to verify because some serious situations have occurred because people do not have any damn integrity, which is crazy. And that's why I sit back and I watch the game, man. I watch the game and I move accordingly. I've learned how to watch more and talk less. Amen. Praise the Lord. So at the end of the day, watch how you step and move. I talk to friends now. I actually was talking to one of my closest friends, one of the guys, the reason that has supported me in the very early stages of my business when I was like, screw this, next. I'm just like y'all. Y'all act like Miss Ward, don't get tired, don't want to give up, don't want to say screw this. Like right now, I'm tired. I'm on the podcast talking to TK. He's sitting there talking about he burnt out. I'm catching his energy trying to keep my stuff protected. I'm popping Red Bull right there. And I'm like, you're not getting paid for this. You need a affiliate link or something. But the key, and it's early morning, but the key is I understand that I'm committed to success in my business. And in being committed to success in my business, I got to do what I got to go do, get it done when I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to have this conversation with this customer 2 months later. Okay, I'm going to pop this in, but it may not work after they waited 2 months. But I'm going to tell them the game we're playing. And that the only game I'm playing is for the both of us to win. And once I have that we can both win conversation, I should be good. So at the end of the day, y'all, watch how you step, learn the lessons, and don't double guess what you already knew. I already knew this was going to be a long, drawn process. Now I'm dreading the outcome because, like I said, this free refurbished board situation, I had nothing to do with the repair except for, plug and play. Something go wrong, it's still coming back in my lap. I can't stand that. I like to know that I'm going to win either way. That I can stand there, look the customer in the eye and say, I stand wholeheartedly behind it. And the reality is I don't. I don't give a dang if they do give a 12-month guarantee. They got extras to throw around. I don't. And when you understand what that means in the big scheme of things, you don't take those chances. Don't be like Miss Ward. Don't second guess your stuff. If you do, we wouldn't even be having this conversation if I follow my first gut. But no, I got to get the bag. No, I got to weather the storm. No, man, I got too many other things to do. And that's what I'm talking about. This is why it's so important that you don't speculate on any business you're going to start, because until you are boots on the ground, you don't understand the risk. You don't know how to make the proper decisions because you ain't got no skin in the game. You sitting here observing, like these dang keyboard gangsters around here, man. I love how people get brave behind the keyboard. But, all day long, y'all would be surprised. I heard about this, but I recently experienced, and I think that some people are just straight jerks. They ain't got nothing but to do but sit in their mama basement and throw out hate and ignorance. But that's okay. That just lets me know where your IQ is and other portions of your body that don't measure up to size. So at the end of the day, we out here to get it. And that's the name of the game. So with that said, y'all, let's go do what? Get it!